welcome everyone. Those who are just joining, I would appreciate if you just wrote where are you joining from, because that's always exciting and interesting to see what's the geography of participation. So let me start with the introduction and let us discuss what we will be discussing today. So basically, as promised, I will show you a system, and I will show you a system which is designed specifically for growth of IT service companies. So for everything that is related to things like software development, web, UX design, other services, right? For all these things, this system works exceptionally well. This system or this framework is not exactly for sales if you have a product like ERP or CRM. So it works if you are selling some services on top of CRM or ERP, but it's not really designed to sell the product, to make like the first sales, let's say, of Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics. And it's also not tuned for SaaS, right? So services, yes. Products, SaaS, not exactly. So the system I'm talking about is simple to implement, easy to use, very logical, and actually it also shows that you will get more business than you can handle. And we will look at the customer case study a bit later. So it means that your previous problems of cash flow, unpredictable cash flow, of utilization, always thinking how will you be able to sell the hours of your team and then also pay salary and leads, all these old problems will go away. However, the story is not just, so positive, because it also means that most likely you will have new problems. New problems like expanding office, hiring team, etc. So if you prefer these new problems to the old problems that you have, then keep on watching, because it will be great learning opportunity. Now, as promised, also during this webinar, I will share 3 bonus tools. So first of all, I will show you value-add loss estimation tool. You will be able to download it, model it for your own company. I will share a funnel calculation tool for webinars. And at the end of webinar, I will share a full system checklist so that you have a checklist and so that you know and can easily remember what the system is about. But let me start a bit talking in terms of how did we got here to this point. So let me then a bit talk about myself, right? And in general, I'm just an ordinary guy. I was born in former USSR in 4 kids family, but when growing up, I always was somehow fascinated as somebody born in USSR about West, right? I always felt that I somehow want to prove that I'm not worse than people in West, and I can do the same or even more. And as a result, actually, I managed somehow to get full scholarship for MBA at Copenhagen Business School. I managed to get a job at Microsoft, and 9 years ago, we launched IBD Consulting, right? And this is a business of specifically selling or consulting services and mostly selling them abroad, which means that we have to be on a good level. We have to be similar or better than similar services available in Western Europe, right? And our goal was also to, put our brain to use instead of sitting and working in corporations in endless bullshit meetings, right? Do what we like, what we are really passionate about, and work as much as we choose. So over these years, I have worked with hundreds of IT companies, right? And I have also personally interviewed hundreds of buyers, right? And in these interviews and this work, I clearly noticed that there are certain patterns. And if there is a pattern, right, you can understand them. You can basically build a system. You can document best practices. You can set up processes, etc. And that's what I did. Basically, I understood and documented system, and also I built a training around that. And about training, we will talk a bit later in this session. Now, again, I have worked with companies basically all over EMEA and few also in Canada and in the United States. And I would say that there are few things very, very clear. There's no magic about IT companies, about software development companies in United States or in Western Europe. No magic at all. There are no hidden qualities and there's no secret knowledge. So companies in United States or in Western Europe are exactly the same as in Central Eastern Europe, right? And this is a reason why myself, being Eastern European, right, I feel quite a pain that companies in Eastern Europe are selling their services at 2 to 5 times discount, right? And this is not something that I made up. This is actually data from Eurostat. Eurostat is European Union central statistical organization, right? And they are doing all kinds of fancy calculations. And one of those is value added per employee in different countries, right? And if we look at software development industry specifically and at value added in that industry, we can see that actually in countries in Eastern Europe, the value added is 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times less than value added in Western Europe. So in practical terms, what does it mean? It means revenue less 2 to 5 times, right? So, and here's a tricky thing, and here's the painful thing. Like companies in Eastern Europe are doing pretty much the same work, but they are charging less. Why is it so, right? It's a big question, right? And it's something that really doesn't allow me to sleep because, and I know it for a fact because of my work with different IT companies, that you can easily sell in Western Europe and in the United States if you know how, if you know the system. And I have a system for that, and I have a training. But before we do that, let us look at the first bonus material that I'm sharing, and this is a calculation tool of your loss if you are selling, if your value added is below the average value added in Europe, or in other words, if you are selling at a discount. Let me just switch now to other window. Okay, here it is. So here is a tool, and this tool will be available to all of you. I will share it in a second. So what does this tool does? So this tool actually is made up of data of European Union statistics, and it basically calculates what is your revenue loss if your value added is below average in Europe. And I'm not talking about countries like Ireland, I'm not talking like Belgium, but average value in European Union. Anybody maybe wants to do calculation for your company, so you just have to give me your country, number of employees, and I can easily calculate it for you. Anyone volunteering? Okay, seems like oh, Bulgaria, Marian. Okay, how many employees you have? 10. Okay, so Marian, calculation for you. So currently, if you are in Bulgaria, if you are like average company in Bulgaria, you have 10 employees, your value added in terms of thousands per year is roughly 500,000. So 473,000 of euros, right? So probably your revenue is higher because value added doesn't include office and so on. So that's why here this infographics, right? So it means, Marian, that if you sold your services to European market and you are part of European Union, you can easily do it. You would made additional 400,000 euros per year. So that's basically the money you are leaving on the table because you are not selling in European Union at average prices in European Union. If you look for 5 years period, Marian, you are losing 2 million euros. 2 million euros. And that's a huge money. At least for me, that would be huge money. I would like to take this money, right? Now, probably you have a question. Okay, Roland, how can I do calculation for myself? So let me share this material for you. Go grab it. All right, which is it? Lost revenue calculation tool. All right, here comes the pop-up, and make sure you get the file. You can do your own calculation. But now let's get back to the main material. I love doing things with mind maps. Really nice tool, Xmind, it's called. All right, so now we explored that there is huge value left on the table for most companies in Eastern Europe. Let's ask ourselves a question. All right, does the system works? Does it makes sense, actually, what you, Rolands, are telling us? Right, and here I invite to watch an edited version, basically 2-minute version of video case study with Sandy from Codofas, that's Croatian company. I recorded it approximately a month ago. So let me get this video material and let's take a look at that. Let's see what Sandy has to say.
My company called Codofas is located in Zagreb, Croatia. That's where our headquarters are. We also have one branch, which we branched out recently in Antwerp, Belgium. Currently, we are counting 12 people. Big client, like a company that employed over 1,000 people. Now we have 5 of them. I'm a developer with 10 years of experience, but I'm a junior business owner. The problem was for me that noticed that the things how I'm doing them are not replicable. The first thing that really improved is now the whole process of let's find a client, let's talk with the client, let's present ourselves to the client, and then let's do the work. Now it's replicable. The most recent project that we got a month ago, for me it was walk in the park because it was fairly similar, and I was just executing the steps, and I was just going straight through the process, and everything was easy, right? It was like coding for me. I know where I am now, where I have to go, what I have to do, which checks I have to perform, and everything. So that was the most impactful. I niched down to only 3 sectors, I would say, which is insurance, education, and telecommunications. You told us, and it was obvious now in hindsight. We just looked at where our clients are currently, what are the sectors that we have expertise in, and what can we harness from the things that we are already doing to position ourselves as the authority on the topics, on the technologies, on the domain business knowledge. And it made it easy to sell to the similar clients.
All right, that was the business results of after attending my training by Sandy Slončak. He's a founder of Codofas. It's a company in Croatia with, I think, 12 employees. All right, but again, let's return to our mind map and let's continue. Now, you probably have seen in your mailbox, certainly, and maybe also some of you have used cold email or cold outreach on LinkedIn trying to sell your services, but I would say that actually it doesn't work, or it works incredibly poorly. Because you see, nobody buys high complex, high risk services like software development from random guy who sent him email, right? So, and therefore you need to be able to sell. Actually, it's super important to understand that you have to meet four key conditions, 4 key criteria, right? And let me ask you, what do you think? What are 4 most important things to be able to sell to international market, to business buyers? What are your ideas? Testimonials? Yes, quite so. Marian, no idea. Who else? Trust building. Exactly. Trust is super important. I mean, trust is basically opening doors to sales. Trust, network. Regarding network, I would be skeptical because sooner or later you run out of your network, and building network like new people is quite difficult. All right, but let's take a look at what these 4 things are. So thing number 1, you must be able to get attention. So if nobody knows about you, if nobody cares, if nobody's joining your webinar, you will not sell anything. Second thing, you have to demonstrate competency. And you can demonstrate your competence with your own content, let's say webinars, ebooks, white papers, etc. But exactly as Mike said, also here super helpful are case studies, customer case studies. Obviously, Mateusz, Turzai, maybe somebody else mentioned trust. Yes, trust is super important because without trust, there's no business. No trust, no business. So simple. And finally, super important thing, which really makes a difference between those who sell and those who do not, is actually first step offer and being able to sell this first step offer. All right, now let's explore system in a bit more details. So for system, basically there are 3 steps that you need to do. First of all, you need to be able to reach out to your audience, right? And it means, and it works best, if you don't spam people with cold email, if you don't disturb them with cold calls, but if you have something to offer, right? To offer them something that they don't have, but they want to have. And the most obvious, the easiest thing to offer is knowledge and insights, right? Things like run a webinar, explain them something, like I'm explaining the system today to you. Prepare an ebook or white paper, or share some kind of a tool, right? And these are things which allows you to really stand out. It allows you to do all these things, to get attention, demonstrate competency, and also if your content is good, it helps you to build trust, right? Second thing is, again, demonstrating competence, building trust. Obviously here content works as well, things like webinar, ebook, and so on. And then you have to sell the first step offer, because you see, nobody in their sane mind are not buying complex tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands worth projects just like that from email or from webinar. So you have to offer something before that big project. And this is what I call first step offer. And first step offer is something that brings together buyers with your team, and you work together on accomplishing some kind of a task, right? So this could be things like a workshop, right? It can be an audit, perhaps auditing current situation. Maybe it's assessment, strategy session, etc., right? And here are things what you want to accomplish with your buying group during this first step offer. So obviously you want to demonstrate competency, you want to answer any objections they have, you want to demonstrate how easy it is to work with your team. What's your work ethics? What's your work culture? How easy it is to communicate with you, right? You also want to involve your team members so that customers have this rich experience, right? And you want to prepare customers for the large project, right? So for large project, what is required and what customers would need actually to take the big project? So during this workshop, you develop things like more detailed requirements, right? Because very often requirements that customers started with are not good, right? They don't understand what they want. So you're helping them, right? Implementation roadmap, budget, obviously timeline, and maybe over this workshop you can even develop some kind of initial, let's say, UX prototypes or things like that, right? The great thing, the best thing with these first step offers is that if they are well executed and if the customer that you work with is well qualified, they have 50 to 80% closing rate. Just think about it. It's basically at least half of customers who go through this first step offer actually converts to big project. And this is why these first step offers are super important part. It's basically in the center of your system, because you know that those who go through your first step offers convert with high likelihood to big projects. So let me share a few simple examples here. Okay, we actually talked about that. Workshop, strategy sessions, audit, proof of concept, project, managed trial. So all these can serve as a good first step offers. And if we talk about the system, it's actually very easy to set it up, everything, and also create content, because with the current advancements of AI, I think many of you who don't have marketing really don't need to hire people, because so much things you can do yourself, which required quite a lot of specialist work just a few years ago. At most, you need a designer to help you create a range of templates, right? And then you can work with those templates yourself, right? So again, simple to implement. You don't need big costs. A lot of things you can do yourself, and very often doing yourself with help of AI is easier than just to explain somebody else what you need, then provide feedback and so on. So I have dropped quite a lot of external collaborators simply because just doing yourself with artificial intelligence is faster, of better quality, takes less time, and I can get result faster than ever before. Now let's take a look at some examples of system. So webinar, like event like this. So how your system would actually look like schematically. So for webinar then, schema is following. Basically, there are ads that your audience sees, let's say, while browsing Instagram, they sign up, they get welcome email and a series of reminders when the webinar is coming up, etc. And then obviously they participate in your webinar. After webinar, you do lead scoring, right? And this is basically with AI, this is automated way how you can figure out who of your participants fit your criteria, who are most likely to purchase, whom you need to follow up. And then basically, if you decide that lead is qualified for a call, you make a call, right? And those who are random people joining or doesn't fit with your ideal customer profile, you just discard them, right? And you do it again and again and again. And this is how you generate leads. Now let's take a look at funnel for webinars. And again, this is another bonus download. Now I need to switch to that Excel window. Give me a few seconds. Okay, here it is. Let me show you. All right, sharing window, Excel. So look, here is an example and quite realistic how your funnel would look like with webinars. And the logic of funnel is following, that we calculate what is the cost at each stage of our funnel and how does it convert, right? And so here's the following. Our average deal size is 50,000 euros, right? And then we invest 1,125 euros in advertising. Cost for lead for us is 80 euros, and that is low. That is actually something that we are able to do, but normally this is quite low, right? And then you can calculate the rest. So now, how does it happen? So you're publishing ads, people sign up, you're paying 7.5 euros per person registering. So you have 150 leads signed up to webinar. 35% of leads show up at webinar, right? So it means that out of those 150, 53 is showing up. So your cost per one person showing up is over 20 euros, right? Then 5% of those showing up actually sign up for the first step offer, right? So that means 3 signups. And we assume that out of those 3, actually 2 are qualified and they are basically converted to large deal, right? So here's a funnel, here's the calculations. This is how you closed deals worth 85,000 euros at 1,000 something investment, right? Again, is this a typical model? I would say no. This takes quite a lot of knowledge, quite a lot of know-how to reach this kind of metrics, but that's entirely doable. This is what we have been able to achieve, and actually, in fact, over last 12 months, my company ran over 60 webinars, right? And let me show you example. So we did quite a bit of work with Microsoft. We were running webinars for their partners all over EMEA, right? And in this process, we also learned a lot. We learned a lot. We gathered statistics. We created AI agents to make webinars really, really efficient, right? And also we tried out everything. So in terms of system, in my mind, I have no doubt that webinars is by far the best way to basically generate leads. So first step offers and generate business in international markets. Now let me share this template. Let me find, how do I share it? I set it up myself, but now a bit of stress with webinar. Get webinar funnel calculation template. All right, I'm sharing it right now. Click and you can download this template. You can model your own success and so on. All right, but let's now return to mind map and let's look at other examples. So similarly, you can work with, if for some reason you cannot make webinar, you can work with white paper or ebook, right? Here schema is somewhat similar. You advertise that here's an ebook available, people sign up, Then they get automated emails introducing your company, providing ebook, right? Then you decide if they are qualified to call, you call. Another example, similarly, you can use, let's say, some kind of a tool, such as security assessment, right? And again, you provide your audience with a message that here is a cybersecurity assessment that you can complete in 4 minutes, and you will get a sense how secure your company is, right? This is something we used in campaign to sell cybersecurity products. Again, it works pretty much the same, right? But the added benefit is here that you also get the details of customer security situation, right? And before the call, you are super informed of what kind of problems they have. And also you can make very good decision whether it makes sense to call customer, whether they actually have the problems that justify the cost of your services, or can you even help them at all, right? So that is third example. Now probably you would have a question, all right, Roland, but what do you recommend to do? And my answer here is, again, quite simple. Actually, live webinars work much better than anything else, right? Why live webinars work better than anything else? Actually, we already have an answer, because remember when we talked about I think about the system or about criteria, what needs to happen for you to be able to sell? You need to get attention, demonstrate competence, build trust, sell first step offer. So all these things you can do with live webinar. There's nothing better than that. Ebooks. With ebooks, there is a bit of a problem, because a lot of people are happy to sign up to ebook. So they are happy to register, get the ebook. However, it doesn't really allow you to demonstrate your competence, because with ebooks, the problem is following. People are happy to sign up. They are not so happy to read it, right? So the fact that person actually downloaded the ebook or white paper by no means that they actually have read it. So, and for you to create really good impression, you need them to read it. You need them to consume the content, right? And if they don't trust you, you haven't proven your competence. When you call them, they are surprised. Okay, who's calling? Why should I talk with you? No, goodbye, thank you, etc. Right? And therefore, live webinars is the best thing. Similarly with on-demand webinars, and we did quite a bit of experimentation. Again, getting leads for on-demand webinars work very well in the sense that you get a list of people and list of contact data with people who are interested in what you have. But again, it doesn't mean they actually watch the webinar. So we have statistics about that. Statistics is very poor. Out of 10 leads that sign up for on-demand webinar, maybe one actually watches some reasonable fragment of webinar. So that's how it is. And with assessments also are quite challenging. Therefore, I would put it very simply, just do webinars. That's the simplest, best thing there is. Now, what needs to happen before you are able actually to run this system, to run webinars, right? And here is critical thing. You cannot run webinars just like that, because you will fail. And I have noticed that for many IT service companies, this is a real problem, right? And this is making strategic choices. So what I mean by making strategic choices, it means you have to define your standout value. You have to be able to stand out in market with some kind of unique value, right? You also have to be able to provide important business results to your audience, because the only reason somebody will do business with you is because they believe that you are the guy who can help them get important business results that they need, right? And actually to do this, here is a number of steps you need to do. So first of all, you have to be very clear about your specialization, right? You have to decide what exactly you do, right? And second thing, you have to decide who's your ideal customer profile. You have to make a list, a database. So this answers question for whom you are providing value, right? Because if you are not clear for whom you are doing and what you are doing, it's a mess. It's like most 80% of software development companies who chase you with cold emails. We can do everything for everyone, any industry, right? It doesn't sell, it doesn't fly, right? And next thing, obviously, you have to have unique value definition, unique value proposition. So you have to be able to answer, what's the difference? What's our unique value, right? And without these things, running webinars or generating demand doesn't make sense, because you have to be laser focused. And you can win in Western markets, in the US, in Europe, if you are laser focused, you cannot win. From other hand, if you offer custom development services for any industry, or your list of industries you specialize in is like 10 industries long, nobody will buy it. It doesn't work, right? You have to specialize. All right. Another thing I want to here to share with you is that it's super important not only to know what to do. So today I'm sharing with you system, right? It's complete system, everything you need to do, right? And that's like cycling. Everybody can do it. But to get really, really good results out of that, you need to know how, right? So two guys, one is casual cyclist, other is Marius Stromberg's Latvian BMX Olympic champion, right? What's the difference? The difference is this guy is specialized. He does one thing only, BMX, these small bicycles and closed circuits, right? He's done a lot of repetition, tens of years, doing just one thing only. And he has experimented with many things. He has documented the results. He has been obsessed with learning, right? Basically trying to learn from every race, every training, right? And as a result, he has deep know-how, right? And similarly, for you to be successful, you need to have this know-how, right? Everybody can run webinar, no doubt about that. But only few companies can really get results out of webinars. Now, obvious question is, all right, Roland, but how we can learn, how we can get this know-how? And here is something that I want to share with you. So this is Masterclass. This is my own training program, which is now third version, is launching right now, right? So it's not a new thing. It's a 6 weeks program. It's for founders, CEOs of IT service company only. There are 4 learning modules. Let's take a brief look at how does it look and what kind of topics are covered. Let me again switch the window. So here we are. This is basically the landing page, right? As mentioned, 6 weeks masterclass for founders and CEOs. And this is specifically for companies who are making less than 85,000 euro revenue per employee, right? That's below the Europe average. Because if you are over, probably you don't need this program anymore, right? And here you see full case study. You saw just a fragment with Sandy about the impact, right? And let me talk a bit about program. So what is in there? So it consists of core content. Core content are kind of mandatory classes, foundational principles you absolutely need to know. Then there are practical materials. So these are mostly how-to videos, how to set up a webinar, how exactly to prepare webinar description, how to prepare a banner, what must be on banner so that you can get audience. Then, and this is available only now, right? At launch of version 3. This is unlimited coaching for full time of the program. So I will work with you and I will put in as much work as you do in this program, right? So anytime you have some questions, anytime you have some progress, I'm happy to jump on a call and discuss. And additionally, I'm providing a lot of external resources. If you want to master some topic deeper, you can get additional videos, additional webinars, podcasts, etc., etc. So it's a very, very rich and very efficient learning experience because you can learn at your own time. You have a homework to do. You have everything available, right? And plus, on top of that, I will work personally with you to make sure you are successful. So what else is there to know? Let's talk a bit about program, what's inside. And there are basically 4 modules. First of all, we start from understanding buyers, how they perceive value, what is valuable for them, what is not, what is the business impact of price on your business, right? And here also after this module, basically in the first week, you will be able to increase the price because you understand how buyers think about price and you will be able to increase it, right? So that's apart from knowledge you get, that's the outcome of the first part. In second part, we talk about making strategic choices. So how you can stand out with your existing competencies, how can you become authority in industry, right? So here you will choose and define your specialization. You will select ideal customer profile customers and make a database, right? I have a how-to video, how exactly to do it. You will develop your buyer's persona. You will also develop your unique value proposition, right? And I will show you how to use it together with AI so that you can develop all kinds of texts which are relevant, which talks about your value proposition, which you can use in presentations, sales pitches, website, etc. Part 3, we will talk specifically how to build repeatable system. So how your marketing, qualification, and sales processes should look like. Here we will start with developing your first step offer so that it's really compelling, so that people would be stupid not to take it, right? And we will learn other things, like central thing is qualification, right? So, and then in the fourth part, we will look at how to create content. What are principles of content creation, how to create webinars, how to create case studies. Actually, creating case studies is super easy thing if you use AI, if you know how to do it, if you have clear structure, right? I will show you exactly how to do it, and I will share with you examples as well. Now, what else? Guarantees, right? So now at launch offer, you will get your money back if something doesn't work, if you don't like something, until New Year, basically until 31st of December. So that's like long time after Masterclass 6 weeks are over. So I'm providing this guarantee, right? But it's only this time now. And I don't think I will ever be able to provide unlimited coaching for all of you, right? So how to start? Start with the free coaching call, right? So you will book call with me, and we will discuss your business. We will understand what is the value on table that you can take. I will guide you to the most relevant parts of Masterclass, and you'll be able to start, right? All right, so that's maybe enough pitching from me. Let us return back to something else. And here again, I want to share one, actually, video fragment from the same case study, which illustrates what happened and how Sandy was able to go from one large customer to 5 big customers, and how he was able to go from trying to chase cold leads to having more leads than he can handle, right? So let's take a look at how difficult it was for him to learn and how much time he invested. So allow me to share another video here. All right.
I wouldn't say that I even put in so much effort in time and in work that I've done to learn the things from you, because it was really packed pretty well, and it was really actionable advice. 2 hours, I would say, per week. And in between, I had some tasks, and you gave me some actionable advice, which I could already implement and, started to see results. The ROI is insane, because I still think that I didn't invest so much time and money, and I got like not even 10x, 100x value out of it. If we are trying to compare the time and the money I spent on your courses and what I got out of it, if we say, here are my clients, this is my new MRR, it's like, yeah, 100x, I would say, to be honest, not making up.
All right, and now let me also share with you a banner. So click it, schedule the first free coaching call, and let us get you going, and let me help you to take the money that is left there on the table that nobody is claiming. Let me help you sell directly to business customers in Western Europe or in US if you choose so. It's entirely doable. I'm doing it myself. Like, I think we haven't issued any invoice in my own country, Latvia, right? I have been able to build a big business with large companies such as Microsoft, and I'm happy to share it with you in the masterclass. All right, so we discussed how difficult it is. You know how to sign up. Now we have few things left. So one is this bonus material with this mind map or checklist of the masterclass. And I have a couple of questions. So question from Yannex was, what was project type which achieved the result shown in Excel? So let me answer it a bit later. I will talk about what are really hot things right now. But this is kind of a typical result with webinars. However, it's also true that you cannot just push any solution on market. You also have to think very careful what is exactly what you offer, right? Because different things have different demands, and there are things which are very, very difficult to sell. and it doesn't make sense to do a webinar. There are different things, right? Let me now talk perhaps, yes, and the other question is, can you have mind map presentation? So at the end, I will share for you a mind map and checklist presentation of the system, but I will not share my own mind map for the webinar. But all in all, you will have all things covered in this mind map I will share at the end. All right, now let me talk about the opportunity, the big opportunity that there is, and this opportunity is actually bigger than anything I have seen. And believe me, I'm a guy who started working in IT before year 2000. And year 2000 was big thing. Everybody was investing, upgrading their hardware, software, and so on. So what is the biggest opportunity in IT right now? And this is clearly AI, right? I have seen very big demand for AI. I have seen super successful webinars, right? Why is it so? Let's take a look at a few data from market, right? And this is actually available in a video. I created the IT services industry report for 2005. I will share in your email later a link so you can watch the full video. But let's take a look. So, what prevents companies in general moving ahead with AI, right? And first of all, this is lack of in-house expertise for design deployment. That's the biggest thing, followed by business case justification. For us, it's important to understand that companies don't have in-house AI talent, right? So if you can help them, they will be open to talk to you. Second thing, what happens with market? Actually, we know from research that at the moment, large companies, enterprises, they are already implementing and have implemented AI projects. Biggest part of market, however, is SMB, smaller companies. So if we look at smaller companies, and this is information about companies with employees less than 1,000, most of them are actively researching AI. So they are open to participate in your webinars. They are open to read your white papers. They are very actively looking for ways how to understand AI, how to understand how it implement. Even more, next slide. Same research, that's research by Foundry, right? Half of companies have already budget for AI-related projects. So they know AI is coming, and either they jump on bandwagon or they will lose big time. So they have budget already, right? So money is there. Money is not a problem, right? And another thing, if we look at in which fields customers are happy to consider new vendors, new suppliers, first of all, it is AI, right? So you don't need to have established relationship with even with large companies, with enterprises, to be able to sell AI, because companies are happy to consider new vendors for AI. And in most other fields, like server infrastructure, IT operations management, etc., they are looking to reduce the number of suppliers, right? So AI uniquely stands out. So my best advice, and again, this is slide from this IT state of industry report, right? So my best advice, get into AI business, right? And look at AI broadly, because people know that a lot of AI projects fail because of poor data management, right? So this is in demand. It's well known that for AI, you need proper cloud infrastructure. That is in demand. Try to find ways how you can talk about AI in context of your own solutions, how you can add AI agents for customer support, chatbots, things like that, right? And make industry solution briefs or demos. And particularly now with AI, you can really overnight, you can make a well-looking AI demo with vibe coding easily. Like 17, 18 years old kids are doing that. So I would say that there's really barriers for entry are low, demand is high, and I would highly recommend you to seek these AI angles, how you can get interest, demonstrate competence, build trust, sell big projects. Market is ready for that. So practically, prepare demo, make webinar, get leads, sell, and as I mentioned earlier, let me know if I can help. because I think for most of you, the best course of action would be to take the masterclass, learn, and as they say, learn to fish, learn to get fish yourself, rather than rely on somebody providing fishes to you, right? From other hand, we have extensive competency with webinars. We have basically phenomenal results. So if you are interested to work with us just on webinar part, also just let me know. All right, that's all from the mind map. Now let me share with you. Let me share with you the bonus I promised to share, and then I will answer any questions. All right, full system checklist. Here it is. So I'm sharing, and you should be able to download. Basically, it's a mind map checklist in PDF format, one page document. All right, and now I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Let me see, maybe there was some questions I didn't answer earlier. What is your pricing? Okay, so now for the launch period, the pricing for Masterclass is 900 euros. So it's again, I'm available for limited time. And because I'm providing this unlimited coaching, obviously I cannot take too many participants. So I have 10 slots available for September. 4 of these slots are already gone. So 6 slots are available only. So that's for Masterclass. Regarding webinars, we need to better understand what are your specific requirements, but the price range is from 1,200 to 1,500 euros. And with that, you get my personal advice about webinar topic. You get everything set up so that you need just to show up, do the webinar, appear on the webinar, introduce your first step offer, and so on. Again, this is very fine-tuned system. We run more than 60 companies on that, right? So it's very, very finely tuned for getting the leads. All right, as you are here and I am here, how else can I help you? If there's some question, I'm more than happy to answer. But if not, then thank you for participation. Thank you for attention. And on like departing note, I really want to stress again one thing which I said is that for me, as a proud Eastern European, it's really hurts my feeling, and my heart is bleeding seeing that thousands and thousands of IT service companies are not using opportunity that they are part of European Union. Many of them have the same currency, and for some reason they are not selling their services to countries where there are just higher price, right? You can easily make more money. All right, I have one question. Does the framework for selling consulting services in the above mentioned areas? Yes, it works, because this process generally is how to say, it's for services, right? And to buy services, again, as we discussed, you need to demonstrate competence, have trust, etc., introduce first step offer. This is actually framework that I have been using to sell my own services. And in my business, the first step offer actually is a strategy session. And in Masterclass, I have a separate video where I'm explaining how exactly I'm selling my services, how my first step offer is structured, how it looks visually, right? What kind of evidence I provide to customers, and so on. So generally it works, but the key thing, as with all services, is really to think how you can very strongly demonstrate your competence and what your first step offer must be. All right, Aldar is asking, is e-commerce a good segment? I think it would be. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be, because the same logic works. You need to demonstrate competency, get trust. You also need to develop some kind of a first step offer, which is something that customers would be happy to take, because after the first step offer, they will feel very safe to continue working with you. But you have to qualify them very carefully, because you don't want to hand out your free work as part of first step offer to everyone, right? You must make sure that customer is serious, they have money, the person you're talking with has authority, right? And they really have a need. And one more thing I want to mention is that actually first step offer doesn't need to be your investment or something you give away free. Because you see, my own business, myself, and a lot of our customers are selling first step offers, right? And first step offer, delivering first step offer, very often, even as a standalone business for them, is highly profitable, right? But again, it's a bit tricky to formulate this first step effort so that customers want to pay for it. But after a few trials, you'll get it, and chances are that all your costs of marketing will be easily covered with the revenue you have from these first step offers. Okay, Mateusz asking, should the first step offer be free? And no, not necessary. But again, I would put it this way, that if you are doing it first time, and you obviously want to sell big project, so then I would offer you to do it following, that either this first step offer is free, but you also say that it's only extended to following customers, right? So that some let's say junior intern at some company don't claim your first step offer, and then you have to get your architect on 3-hour live meeting with intern, right? You have to say to whom it applies, but you can also do the following, that normal price of this first step offer is, let's say, 5,000 euros. However, we are giving one first step offer free for the first person claiming it, right? And then you get people claiming that. Actually, to pull off charging for the first step offer at the first attempt, well, if you can do that, that would be, hats off, very respectable. But that's difficult, most likely not for most of you. After you run the same system, do the same webinar, second time, third time, you can start experimenting, and over time you will be able to charge for the first step offer, and it's actually entirely doable, but unlikely with the first attempt. All right, good then. Thank you very much for participation. I hope you liked this content. Also, I hope it was okay that I delivered it from mind map. That kind of helps me think. I hope it also helps you to get the content. I'm looking forward to talk with you on this free first coaching call, and let's get you selling Invest. All right, thank you, and have a good rest of the day. I invite you to join 6 weeks masterclass for founders and CEOs of software development companies. You will transform your company into growing and highly profitable business, and you will have more business than you can handle. That's guaranteed. But don't just take my word for it. Visit the website in description and watch the video case study featuring Sandy Slončak from Codofas, that's a Croatian software development company, who successfully transformed his business using my approach. This masterclass is not your typical training program, because you will receive unlimited one-to-one personal coaching directly with me. And because of this highly personalized support, also participant slots are strictly limited. Visit the website in description now and schedule the free initial coaching call. Over this call, we will discuss whether the masterclass is the right fit for your situation. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Just note that eligibility is restricted to founders and CEOs of software development companies. No marketing manager, no sales directors. Founders and CEOs only. Talk to you soon.